What's up, guys? I'm back at it again with a roundup of my history of gaming mice this time, including the new Dark Core RGB I picked up last week. So since I've had it for about a week, I figured it's a good time to give you my week one impressions of it compared to all the other mice I've used in the past. So I'm just going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with my very first gaming mouse, which is the Razer DeathAdder Chroma edition. And starting off, it was pretty good. I mean, my hands are really big, so I mean, it's one of the bigger mice, so it kind of catered to that. It was comfortable to use for a little while, but then after long periods of use, my hand would still cramp up a little bit, but that's not what really bothered me. What bothered me was this little rubberized strip they have here. Yeah, the grip isn't really enough for me, so what I would find myself doing is keeping my hand very low on the grip since it's so far down. And my fingers would actually drag while I was using it on the mouse pad, which it's a first world problem, but it's a little irritating if you've ever had that happen. And yeah, so I knew it wouldn't really last me for the long term, so I went trying to find other mice, bigger ones, but it didn't really work out that way, as I'm going to move on to the next one, which is the Mionix Castor. And this mouse right here was actually pretty good. Unfortunately, it's smaller than the DeathAdder, so the cramping issues I had were actually a lot worse on this one, and I really wanted to like this mouse. It's just so darn small, because the thing that they got right that the DeathAdder didn't was their rubberized strip right here is actually much larger. If you see that, you have all this area right here to work on. So I was actually able to hold this mouse without my fingers dragging. But again, as you can see, like I pretty much just palm the thing no problem. See, it's not really going to work, like, you know, for extended periods. My hand is going to cramp. And one thing I want to talk about while I'm still on this side of the mice is that I was having issues with cord drag. Like, even though I was no longer dragging my fingers, it kind of got irritating feeling the cord drag against it. Now, I know what some of you are probably saying, just get a mouse bungee. I did try that, and I don't know if it's just me not knowing how to set it up or what. I mean, it seemed pretty self-explanatory, but I would still have issues where, you know, if I'm moving the mouse up and the cord has some slack to it, that, you know, you're still going to get a little bit of drag. So after that, I was like, look, the next mouse I get, it's got to be bigger and it's got to be wireless. And I know a lot of people complain about wireless mice and latency. I consider myself a competitive gamer. I'm not a pro though, so, you know, I can deal with a little bit of lag if that's the case. So I was all in for that. Now, you're probably wondering why this is here. This is clearly not a gaming mouse. It's the Logitech Mx Master, the first one, not the second one that came out recently. And the reason why this is here is because ever since I've used this mouse, I got it around last December for Christmas. Yeah, I've been spoiled. Now, this mouse, it's wireless. It's very comfortable to hold in the hand. And it fits my gigantic hand just fine. Like, it just feels great to use. And I had it here because this is pretty much the mouse I wish was a gaming mouse. I wish I could use this as my main gaming mouse. And I don't know if Logitech, you know, isn't aware that they have a gem here that could make a perfectly good gaming mouse for people with bigger hands. But if not, yeah, just throwing that out there. Logitech, come take my money. But yeah, as that is not the case now, I use it usually for my everyday non-gaming needs, so for video editing and just everyday web browsing, and it feels amazing. It's just awesome, and I wish I could use it for gaming, but it's an optical sensor and it ain't gonna work. Which brings me to my recent purchase of the Corsair Dark Core RGB mouse. Now, let me just start off by saying this. This is a wireless mouse, and one of the marketing ploys they used on it was a 1 millisecond response time when it comes to using the 2.4 gigahertz connection. Again, I'm just a competitive gamer. I'm not like a super pro CSGO player or anything, but I can say that my time using it, I have not noticed any latency. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite on it, and it has been excellent. Now, getting into it, the size isn't really there. I mean, it's close, it's kinda, but as you can see, the hump isn't as high up. Well, actually, let me give you a better look at that. The hump isn't as high up as the Logitech Mx Master, so, you know, it's not really The form factor is somewhat similar though, but you know, the dimensions aren't exactly the same, which, you know, depending on your hand size is good or bad. For me, I was hoping it'd be a little higher, but you know, they want to make this for everybody, not just the people with big hands, so I kind of see why they had to make that compromise there. But you know, it's not all negative. I want to actually talk about a lot of the pros that I found using this mouse. So what I said earlier about my fingers dragging along the mouse is no longer an issue because they gave me not only a thumb rest, but a finger rest over here. So that feels great. I kind of adjusted to it. I haven't had any cramping instances with this mouse, but I haven't really had long gaming sessions with it yet. I am looking forward to see how that holds up over time. And one of my favorite features of this mouse is right here, and that is actually the sniper button. And what that allows you to do is to set it to a certain DPI setting. It could be higher, it could be lower, but right now I have mine set to somewhere, I keep switching between 300 and 400. I don't really think it makes a difference, but you know, it's whatever. So when I'm playing Fortnite and I do have a sniper rifle, I need to make a quick adjustment to make it a lot slower. I just push this button down, it slows it down, and you can see on the little indicator that it is changed to a different setting, and it slows it down enough where I can take a steady shot, and that is actually really cool. I don't know why I've never thought about that before, but that's amazing. And then these little indicators right here allow you to actually change the DPI settings. So right now I have my lowest one at, I believe, I want to say 800. Yeah, I have my lowest one at 800, my middle one at 1000, and then my highest one at 1300. And you can change those on the fly with these two buttons here. You can either set it up or down. And they also have a hardware button, so you're not just relegated to these three settings. You can actually set up a bunch of different hardware profiles on here with different color schemes and DPI settings for each one. So there's a lot of possibilities with that. The scroll wheel feels pretty good. You know, I haven't had any issues with it yet. But this mouse is very impressive, and for the price point, it was actually $85 after taxes when I bought it. And I know when the Logitech G900, which I think is the current king of wireless gaming mice, came out, it was about $150. I don't have one, so I can't do like a side-by-side comparison of the two, especially with the latency. But I will say that if this manages to match that as far as low latency goes, then Corsair has a winner here. Like, this is great. I mean, it's not my perfect gaming mouse. That would be a gaming version of this one, but this is pretty darn close. So, you know, guys, if you know, you're in the market for a new wireless gaming mouse, I would recommend checking it out. This isn't an in-depth review or anything. This is just me comparing it to what I've had in the past. And yeah, it feels great. I don't have to deal with cord drag anymore. I don't have to deal with my fingers dragging, and it's just an awesome mouse to have. So, you know, if you want to give it a shot, go ahead. Again, it's a lot. It is kind of a lot of money. It's 85 bucks. It's not cheap by any means, but it's a whole lot better than the 150 that the G900 started out at if you want to get into this. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.